Hey, it's Vicky Furman here. It has maybe been a while since I have seen you. If you haven't met me, I am the owner and CEO of the Bodyology Clinic. And these days, I am all about my somatics practice. If you have been with me for a long time, you may remember me as a massage therapist. And I love learning. And so, over the last 2 decades, I have been putting into practice the work of massage therapy, body work, pain science, neuroplasticity, and habit change to really embody this practice of somatics, which is really just an active self-healing practice that helps you overcome your movement limitations that are responsible for pain, and also eliminating stress from accumulating and hanging out in your body. So it's really more than a self-healing practice, but it also is an intuitive practice. It helps build your intuition. Most people are running on the edge of burnout and fatigue. They've maybe been told by their physician that they need to change their lifestyle, they need to slow down, they are headed towards a chronic cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, cancer, chronic pain syndromes. And a lot of people these days are just simply afraid of the growing healthcare expenses that maybe lie ahead and want to be more proactive in dictating or creating their own course of health that's ahead of them. So somatics is really just a way for you to take control of your health and your overall wellness in a very proactive way that leaves you feeling more energized, leaving more time for gardening, picking up your grandkids, spending more time with your own children, taking that dream job, going on that vacation that you've been dreaming of, gain greater control over your body and how it feels, and also build that confidence in your own body's abilities and capabilities. And how we do this is through my sessions through a 5-step process through self-sensing and self-awareness. I use massage therapy, a movement practice, transformational coaching, habit change work to help you understand your current habit patterns around how you think, feel, and do, how you're essentially acting, enacting, reacting, fighting, flighting, freezing, moving your body, and how that compares to the best version of yourself, how the best version of yourself is thinking, feeling, and doing and acting. So in our time together, you really are learning to build that intuition so that you're hearing and listening to the signals that your body is sending to you via thoughts, feelings, and sensations in your body, and to help you take really authentic action that reflects a deeper sense of what it is that you're desiring, knowing that you're taking action that's responsible for what it is that you're wanting to create in these more efficient movement patterns that eliminate the stress pain loop so that you have more freedom in your body. So there are many ways that I help people tap into their intuition and deepen that sense of who they are out into the world. And it's through a mindset practice and a body set practice. I like the word body set because it's similar to the mindset. We're really just focusing on the quality of how we're thinking, feeling, or the quality of how we are doing and moving. So what I want to share with you today is actually the movement piece, which I think is a very simple way to demonstrate a slice of what a self-sensing, self-awareness practice like somatics actually is. And we do this, the movement piece is very similar to the thought piece, but you're going to get a sense of the depth of this within the movement that I'm going to share with you today. So in the realm of somatics, what you're doing is you're really just starting to generate massive amounts of awareness of things that you've probably been unconscious of, right? So when we're moving out in the world, we don't have to think about how we're holding ourselves and our posture, how we get into our car and put our seatbelt on, or how we hold our toothbrush. Those things just happen automatically, but we've had to learn them. And so when you need to learn new habits, you have to relearn them or remember how to take in those sensories and then move differently. So in somatics, the movement portion, we slow that process down so that we can understand, how does my lower body move in relationship to my upper body? How do my eyes move in relationship to my head and my neck and my shoulders? Most people don't take the time to think about this. And that's the benefit of doing this practice, because once you start bringing into awareness, then you're able to change. You can't change what you're not aware of. So this slows our brain down to pay attention to how our movements are actually in that moment versus how we would actually like for them to be instead. So what I'm going to share with you in this next portion is a movement sequence that takes into account actually all of the major movements in our body. I break these down inside of my sessions into body parts, and then we put the body parts into the whole part. So that's what you get inside of my Back to Basics, or when you're working with me in one-on-one sessions, we're really kind of breaking down the areas of your body that have created what I call a sensory motor amnesia, or Thomas Hanna labeled as a sensory motor amnesia. And we learn to reconnect with that part of our body and then incorporate it into the whole. And this can be a very effective way of moving through trauma. So it can be very different and very healing, not having to revisit the story. And I find it to be really effective for people in processing and metabolizing this movement practice. So with that, let's dive into some of the specifics around what you're going to want to pay attention to in a movement practice if this is new to you.
So, I'd like to share with you my favorite daily movement exercise that I think is essential and effective to help you bring into this heightened awareness state that I'm talking about, that will leave you more centered and feeling a little bit more in tune with your body. Before I do that, what I'd like to do is share about how we go about the movement practice. Now, in this video, I'm just talking about the movement practice because, as I've described, there's this thinking and feeling thing that's going on along with the doing. So we're going to be doing the doing part, and the thinking feeling will come at a later time. And if that interests you, check out my other emails and my other resources that I have around how we bring this mindset component in, kind of patterned with our physical movement. So I'm going to share this. It's a very simple and very effective short routine. But before you start into the movement, what I want to say is that this video is for exercise purposes only, and I will post this along. You'll see the handout below. With any movement, make sure that you check with your physician. I am not a medical physician. Um, uh, and this is for educational purposes only. So with any kind of movement, you want to make sure that you are cleared for exercise before doing this. In the work of somatics, the most effective way of doing this work is in a very slow, conscious way. The whole idea is that we're bringing consciousness into how it is that your body is moving. And so the slower that you can feel into the movements that we're going to be moving through today, the more beneficial that you'll get. What we are doing is we are accessing the conscious part of your brain called the motor cortex, which is responsible for voluntary movement. Now, about 95% of the time, your body is moving involuntarily without you having to tell it what to do or to even think about how to do the movement. In somatics, we want to slow this process down so that you can be in observation of how your body is meant to move. So this sequence is just a really short sneak peek into what I offer inside of sessions with me, inside of my Back to Basics. I break down each and every single one of the main body regions of our movements into basic components so that you can feel and understand how groups of muscles work together to move your body uh, around, whether it's in exercise or cleaning or sitting at your desk or sleeping at night. The positions that you find yourself visiting every single day are within this somatics practice. So I can't wait to share this with you.
So you're going to want to prepare a little space for you to do the somatic exercises. You're just going to need a yoga mat and a quiet space. I recommend no music, no TV in the background. You'll see in the upcoming video, I suggest taking off your glasses, and you really just need enough space that a yoga mat can roll out to. You can see that I've got my yoga mat set up here, and give yourself some time to get settled, and then you can just listen to the last part of this video, which will take you through a movement sequence.
One of the things that I like to do before I start somatics is actually, if you are an eyeglass wearer, take your glasses off. You want to just reduce a lot of any kind of external sensory input that you're getting, and glasses definitely are a little bit of a distraction in somatic movement. So I'm going to take my glasses off. Next, you'll want to have enough space on your floor for a yoga mat. Okay? And you'll find yourself laying on the floor on your back. Make sure you guys can see me, which I think you can. I'll scoot down just a little bit more. Okay, so this first exercise that we're going to do is going to bring conscious awareness into your lower back. This is an arch and curl sequence. It combines my first two lessons. We're going to be focused right now on the back muscles that run along your spine, as well as through the front of your trunk. So in the arch, you're going to slowly contract the lower back muscles so that your belt line comes up towards the ceiling, and then lower your back on the ground. And I'll actually turn on my side so that you can see this from the side view. So on the inhale, arching your back, you can see the space underneath my back arches. And on the exhale, I'm lowering those muscles to the floor and coming into more of a flat back. And begin to just notice as you're laying on the floor, does your lower back touch the ground, or does it naturally on rest come up and above in an arch? How high is that arch for you during rest? And so as you inhale and exhale, you're rolling. Notice how my pelvis is staying on the floor. I am not lifting my pelvis. I am rolling my pelvis. And so my tailbone is touching the floor deeper as I do an arch. And then it's rolling, and my tailbone is now curling. And we're going to come into a curl. So you'll curl. Inhale and release. Exhale to take a breath in and out. Inhale, lifting the belly towards your belt, or the belt line towards the ceiling. Exhaling, coming into flatten. Okay. And now, keeping your right hand behind your head, you'll take your left hand into your left knee. And we're going to come into that arch and curl. So you'll arch, inhale, And you'll feel a tightening through your left hip. And on the exhale, you're going to take your shoulder and diagonally curl towards the left outside of your knee and coming out into an open stretch. Inhale and exhale. A couple more times. And then switch. Now you're going to put your left hand holding your right knee with your right hand. Inhale and arch and curl and open. And again, we do this very slowly. Somatics is not meant as a crunch or an exercise. You can go to your local gym and join an exercise class for that kind of a workout. Somatics is something that you would do before you attend an exercise class to get into your body and how it is meant to move. So as I am curling, I am noticing the shortening through my abdomen, a rotation through my ribs, and then opening. And come to rest. And now you're going to find yourself on your side in what I call the chair position. So knees are at a 90-degree angle, top arm coming up over the top of your head. And now we're going to just do a gentle lateral side flexion and down. And as you're doing this motion, your lower body, the top leg is rolling, your femur is rolling on top of your bottom leg, and it's lifting your lower leg as you're feeling your armpit go closer towards your hip. So we're really focused on this side body and how that works, how the pelvis comes closer towards the ribs and the shoulder, and then slowly lower yourself down. And a couple more. And come to rest and rotate to your other side. Again, chair position, arm underneath to cushion, and lifting through the side body, shoulder towards your hip, lifting your lower leg at the same time, and down. And to lift that lower leg, your top femur, your right femur or left femur rotates in on top of the bottom leg, and it lifts your lower leg, and then you return to neutral. A couple more. So I'm feeling into this motion through my side body. Notice where you get distracted, where you want to rush the exercise because you feel uncomfortable with how much time you have. And come to rest. And take a nice full breath in and out. Okay, and this next movement, your arms are going to come out as a T, and you're going to rotate your top and bottom arms looking towards the palm that is up. So you'll come into rotation of the shoulders internally and externally rotating, and the head follows where the hand is. And then we're going to add the knees. So this is a very pleasurable, fun, playful activity, movement. Allow yourself to just play and the head to roll across the floor, not lifting and turning, We're rolling. So letting the head roll from side to side along with the shoulders. And you'll slowly lower the knees towards the opposite direction of your palm up and the way that your head is looking. And then slowly bring it to center and move to the other side. And just allow this to feel good. We'll come into completion, and this will end our somatic introduction. If this is something that you enjoy, then please feel free to schedule a session with me.
Well, I hope you loved that simple movement sequence. Again, that's just the beginning, it's just the tip of the iceberg, an introduction into a fragment, a slice of what somatics is. And just in the movement portion, there's a whole mindset portion that I can't wait to introduce you to. If you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. Please feel free to email, respond to any of my social media, or just send me a note in the email. Love to hear from you and answer any questions. And if this seems like it's the right fit for you, or even if it's not the right fit and you just need some help finding resources, I'm always available. Just reach out anytime. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch and give this a try for yourself in escaping the stress pain loop. But even more than that, just finding a way to live with more freedom in the rest of your life. So I am sending you the most amount of joy and health and well being, and I hope to see you soon.